Gotham's on mute. Gotham's on mute.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Hey,
How you
when do
living?
you when does this start? Is this like, are we live right now? Is it?
I mean, it's recording. Anything's live. It's what it
Oh
is.
shit.
We'll get you the full intro once Big Cat Chad jumps in. But yeah, man, it's recording. I can edit it anytime, so it's whatever.
Okay. Yeah. No. I get that. I was trying to see when you'd start editing it, you know?
At any given point,
That's the question.
this will be later. This is right now. The main focus is getting content, and then the rest will be on us to just edit and do anything.
Okay.
You know, it's
Add the stuff to the
hardest
outtake.
point is just getting content, really, and then the rest is just like figuring out a game plan for the rest of the year.
Got it. Okay. This could be the outtakes. Like if, I turn my camera on for a minute, take my clothes off, you can have that in.
Hey, man, if that's what's needed, that's what's needed. Yeah, we got to get that exposure.
Speak seriously, exposure. You got to leave this part in. This banter. Chad's missing out on it, unfortunately.
Welcome to the Big Cat Lounge podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm KZ and I'm here with Big Cat Chad. Today's guest enjoys sending people MAGA paraphernalia for their wedding gifts, a collector of various guns, an old-fashioned drink type of a person, an office lover, a society of individual investors, SII alumni. We welcome Gautham to the Big Cat Lounge podcast.
What's up, Gautham?
How are y'all doing?
Good. How you doing?
I was a little curious how my intro would go after like the last two that I heard. I was a little bit worried. I was a little bit worried.
Well, how did he do?
I'll give him an 8 out of 10.
What did he miss on?
He didn't miss anything. I'm not giving him a 10 out of 10. No one's perfect.
I see.
Yeah, you can't get that perfection.
So what's the latest guns you've bought recently?
I have not been buying anything recently. It's are you asking me from the perspective of the government? Who are you asking from?
No. Just because like around here, my friend sent me a picture when he was at the gun store last week, and it was just a long line. He said once he got in, there was no line for ammunition. He got out in 10 minutes.
My knee-jerk reaction would have been like, what are you talking about, Chad? All mine fell into the lake last week.
Yeah.
Guns? I don't have any guns.
I have nothing.
No.
No, I did see the lines were like crazy. I think most shops are selling inventory out that they haven't even received from the manufacturer. So
I'm sure. I heard there's no 9mm bullets around my area.
I saw some prices. The bullets are usually what, 19 cents, 20 cents a round. I think some people were marking them up to $1.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what I've been hearing. That's like, what, 5 times the markup?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But, I mean, in current times, I guess I understand that. It always happens. I was reading that. So, you know how they measure the amount of guns purchased in the United States is by the NICS checks, the background checks that go through, right? The FBI checks?
Yeah.
So I was reading that March as a month had the highest number in the entire history that they started doing that in the country. So it's good.
Yeah, we have about like 9 or so we've done thus far, and we have
seriously
2 or 3 every week that's scheduled. So yeah,
wow.
We got quite a lot. Yesterday we had a guest come from Indonesia. She was on from Indonesia, so we got to learn a little bit about her. And what's going on in Indonesia. So we expanded to the Big Cat International now. Before we were, about 87% US, but now maybe we'll bring that down and try and hit that globe.
I saw the stats that you posted on the WhatsApp group. So I was like, I think Anil was like, your cousin didn't even watch his own. No one from Canada.
He's just too busy. There's just so much going on in Canada right now. There's not much, man. We got quarantine.
We have nothing to do. I'm sitting at home. We went to Starbucks earlier today. Went to get my car from the shop and stuff. That's all we can do here. Maintenance activities. Yeah. Starbucks is back open.
How about the rioting? All that stopped, or it's settled down?
Yeah, I mean, it's farther from my parents' house, so it's not like too close, so it's not a big deal. And like the one in DC is like in the city, so it's not like hitting Nova, so not a big problem for us. And my parents live maybe, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes out from the city, so there's not really much activity. It's like the suburbs, kind of like Tyson, sort of.
Yeah, makes sense.
So not to worry, but yeah, I mean, it sucked because like I saw a lot of shops that I'd gone to as a kid and even like college, high school and stuff like that were all smashed in and everything stolen inside. Really sucks. Kind of
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of these business owners, they're not going to be able to recover. Sure, they'll be able to do insurance claims and all, but that's not going to be the same.
Insurance doesn't cover close to what a lot of these people lost. I mean, it sucks because it detracts from the whole movement too. But then, I mean, a lot of these business owners are part of the community too, and it like, I was looking at a lot of people who were talking about how much insurance actually covers. First of all, like, I mean, I work kind of in insurance, so I know how that works. They make money by not paying out claims, so you're obviously fighting the insurance company. And then on top of that, they'll have exclusions, exceptions, and you'll also end up paying, the deductibles, co-payments, and all that stuff too. So you're not winning.
Yeah, exactly. Damn. Did you know that today in 2015, so today is June 16th. So June 16th, 2015, Donald Trump launched his campaign for the Republican nomination.
I did not know that.
From the Trump Towers, yep.
Was that when he was? I guess he was coming down the stairs, right? That thing Simpsons had a little sketch about and all that.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. He came down with his wife. That was an interesting moment. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, who would have thought, right? 5 years from today. Today's sponsor is Anchor FM app. Go download the free Anchor app today to get started. You can find it at your Play Store or App Store. It's everything you need to make a podcast, and it distributes everything for you so it can be heard on multiple platforms such as Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, and many more. This is what I'm currently using right now to edit and record my podcast, and you can do so from your phone or computer. And the tools are really easy to use to help document the Big Cat Lounge journey. So what are you waiting for? Go today and download it.
Fact or fiction? There's more guns in the U.S. than there's U.S. population.
Oh, there's more guns. It's, I think, 110 per 100 people, maybe more by now.
Yep, it's and I don't know what it is now, but in 2018 it was 393 million guns.
Yep. No, I was just giving you the per cat. I guess the per 100 people is about 110.
Oh, here it is. Here's those stats right here.
Kyle, I'm guessing this is the part where you edit it out, like the.
No, this is where we lose people who listen.
You lose.
This is where we look at the charts and we're like, "Oh shit, man, we lost them. What happened?"
Does it actually show you when people drop off?
They fake news me over here, man.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. This didn't show me the. Oh, here it is. List of countries estimated of guns per 100 people. United States, of course, 120.5 guns per 100 persons.
That's estimated too, so that doesn't include. That's all purely based on the background checks, and so
right.
I mean, people who are manufacturing their own, which has been legal since the founding, I guess, and people who have bought them from other sources, that's not even included. Yep. So that's like.
And now there's 3D guns.
Yeah.
Now here, I bet. Okay, I guarantee you, without looking it up, can y'all name the top 5 countries per that have civilian firearms per 100 persons? Who has the most?
Yeah, I think the United States. I think Israel, Switzerland. I want to say there was a weird one on there. It was either Russia or Saudi Arabia.
I ain't gonna get these.
Maybe India.
Falkland Islands is number 2, and that's got 62. 62 civilian firearms per 100.
Well, there's no limit, man. Like,
how many people do they have? Like 62 people, right?
Probably. Yemen is the 3rd. Then New Caledonia is 42.5, and then Montenegro. But I guess Canada. Hey, Canada comes in at 34. Canada's number 7.
I'd be curious to see the stats if you, let's say you excluded countries with population less
Yeah,
than,
that's what
let's
I'm
say,
looking at.
10 million or 100 million or something like that.
Yeah, so it's basically like Canada. I don't know how big Uruguay is, if that would count in your thing. Wow, yeah, most of the top 20 are small countries. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, you have 5 guns and it's like Vatican City's like, that's already like a big percentage, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's otherwise like the biggest city is just or the biggest countries is look China and them aren't even on here.
Yeah. I
Germany's
mean, but they're really restrictive, right? So
Germany's 28th.
yeah, Germany has a decent culture of guns there, but yeah, China, I wouldn't expect China to be anywhere there.
Yeah. And
No,
the
they're not
government's
even.
gonna report it. Like, come on. How are you gonna report it?
Russia's 68th. Now I'm surprised El Salvador is 72. I figured that'd be a little higher. Puerto Rico's got 11.5 guns per 100 folks. But yeah, that's crazy, man. The U.S. has got more than double the second most country. So yeah, do you like automatic weapons, right? Like, what kind of guns do you like?
It's just anything actually. I've basically shot everything except for an actual automatic, like a machine gun. I think, from revolvers to hunting rifles, shotguns, regular semi-automatic fire pistols, and rifles,
What do you
all
use
over
for
the place.
mainly?
I sound like Sarah Palin, if you remember. It's like, what newspapers, what news sources do you read? All of them, all the big ones. You
Everyone.
remember? That's what I sound like right now.
They came out to some school in Alaska or something, had a shotgun there to shoot bears or something. You remember that?
I didn't.
Or that
I didn't
might,
do that.
yeah, there's some school, like, they were all in an uproar about it a few years ago.
Oh, okay. No,
And there
I
was,
know. Like, I mean, in the culture, at least here, back in the day, before a lot of the craziness started, they had gun safety classes and shooting teams at schools, right? And I think some schools still actually do have
where
like
are you?
teams. I'm in Virginia, so I'm
Oh,
in
nice. Okay.
usually Northern Virginia. Right now, I'm in my parents' house down in the suburbs of Richmond.
Nice.
But yeah, no, there was I was reading about that. I think it's become a lot more of a sensationalist kind of thing now. I don't know if school shootings actually went up or down per capita or however you want to measure it, but I just know it's being reported obviously a lot more, because back in the day you'd have a lot more shooting
Yeah.
clubs and teams at schools, and it's kind of sad that kind of culture is going away.
Well, sadly, that's one silver lining about COVID-19 is there was no school shootings.
There was no school. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I did read like domestic violence and a lot of
Oh,
the
yeah.
crime people commit at home. That's all going up. So I
Oh,
don't. It's not
absolutely.
really I mean, in my mind, I don't think it's the guns. It's just people. What do you do about that? You have to kind of change the culture, I guess.
Yeah, a gun's just a tool. A gun's just something that's sitting there. A person's got to pull the trigger.
No, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm all for gun safety and reasonable regulations, but then a lot of the people, when they say reasonable or sensible or common sense, those are the buzzwords they throw out. If you actually look into it, it's not actually a common sense or reasonable thing. They just use that so you're kind of on there. If you're against it, it's like, oh, you're against common sense? Okay.
Looks like Virginia's a little testing ground for that right now.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary because some of the things that they're trying to pass, it turns a lot of people into felons almost immediately overnight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at a lot of them, I mean, some of the bills that were proposed, thankfully they weren't passed. It'll turn you into a felon overnight. It's just, oh, you're still in possession of it. There's no grandfather clause. There's nothing that stops you. One day you're a law-abiding citizen. The next day it's like, shit, a piece of metal that you own is now illegal today. Turn it in, or you're.
Like when they told everybody to come in with a machine gun and pay their tax back in the day, and then they got arrested or whatever for having a machine gun.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I read a case in California, because California has done a lot of that craziness where they, passed a law to, ban, I think it was magazine sizes larger than, I think, 10 or something, but they grandfathered in any magazines that people already owned, and then the next legislative session they just turned around, I think, and just said, oh, no more grandfather, just kidding. So then all the people that currently owned it had to turn it in. I think I just reading something in the news, somebody who tried to follow the law legitimately, and he was like, it's such a confusing law. He got in trouble because he was trying to trying to register it, his rifle, I think, and they just came and got him, searched his house, raided it, and he was arrested because, oh, you're trying to follow the law, but you own all these. That's illegal.
So what do you think about what's going on in Virginia? Tell the listeners what is going on in case they don't know.
What's going on in Virginia? So the Democrats took over, I think, the General Assembly in Virginia. So Virginia is an interesting state.
I mean, they got the blackface guy.
Oh, Governor, yeah. What is it? Dr. Governor Northam, or I think he's a doctor. So I guess his nickname is Blackface, but actually his nickname
he did blackface.
He did. It's not actually settled which one he was. So he had a picture, I think, from college where he was either the person in blackface or he was the guy in Klan robes. I don't know which one is worse, but
that's right. Yeah. So it's a no-win.
Yeah. So I think the next day or a couple of days later, he came back and said, "Oh no, actually, just kidding. That neither of those was me." So everyone's still trying to figure out, are you the one on the left? Or are you the one on the right? We don't know. And so it was actually pretty impactful where, they had a big gun rally in Virginia when the new legislative session was about to start. A bunch of people, I think they had 60,000 people or something. People of, all races, genders, everything. I think one of the newest upcoming, I think, gun owning minorities actually women, and actually I think African Americans, which is really nice. So they had a lot of diversity at the gun rally, but I mean, obviously the news wasn't showing all of that. It was just, it's a bunch of rednecks showing up. So they're all protesting some of the more unreasonable kind of regulations. I think
for sure.
The interesting thing is there was no violence. There was probably one or two arrests, which were, I think, purely just, disorderly conduct or something stupid like that.
It's the funny thing. When a lot of people have firearms in the area, people don't tend to do a lot of stupid stuff.
People don't tend to do a lot of stupid stuff. I don't know. The governor was freaking out, and he declared like an emergency, and he banned, I think, firearms from certain areas, and they put up like fences and things like that. And nothing bad happened. It was just a lot of fear mongering, and then the media turned around afterward and said, "Oh, there was no violence. Look at that." But yeah, Virginia, I mean, they passed a couple of them. I think one of the laws it's a 1 handgun a month law. What was happening, I think, was, Virginia is one of the states where people do buy guns and then take that to other states to smuggle it, like states like New York, where it's they have a lot more restrictions. And I mean, the same thing happens with drugs. It's the same thing. So, but for drugs, it seems like the national conversation is moving the other way, where it's like, okay, why are we even banning these in the first place? At least for marijuana, I guess, right? But for guns, it's a little bit different conversation, and it seems like
what is the marijuana law in Virginia?
Believe it or not, Governor Dr. whatever Northam, or Blackface, however you want to call him, he signed a bill decriminalizing it starting July the 1st, which I'm fully in support of decriminalizing it. I mean, Portugal did it a while ago with a lot of drugs, and I think they halved their like drug abuse rates. Instead, they're treating it as a problem, as kind of as a disease, and so they were sending people for rehab and things like that, for at least the harder drugs. And so it'll be interesting, I think, as long as I'm fine with it. I'm not a drug user, but obviously I'm fine with it as long as people aren't driving intoxicated.
Yeah, see, the thing is, like, when they legalize, then it comes to an interesting point where then apartments and communities, they have to then set a precedence, and they have to say, okay, you can either go out to a certain location or we're going to allow it to happen. But a lot of the leases, they have it in there.
Yep. So, but I mean, do you find it different, like smoking pot in your apartment versus smoking cigarettes? I mean, my lease specifically prohibits smoking, so I don't think there should be an exception for that. But I mean, maybe edibles or something like that. I guess how can they really ban that food, right? So it's a little bit difficult to enforce that. If they find it, I mean, then maybe they could evict you or something. But I just think the private landlords should be able to decide whatever terms they want, but you just don't have to live in that apartment. I don't think the government should be involved in regulating kind of, I guess I'd say, victimless crimes in a way. You're at home. If you don't have a kid, you're not driving, sitting at home doing it. I don't really care. Why should the government?
Yeah.
Right.
So in Canada, like a lot of the universities, they have designated areas and fields where they say you can, go ahead and do what you need to
Really?
do. Yeah. So it's like,
We have fields in
yeah,
Canada.
they do. They have like
fields.
University of Alberta, they have a designated spot where you can just choke.
That's crazy.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's almost like similar to, where cigarettes, where people go to smoke cigarettes. So it's like, okay, you go out there, you go, 20 feet away, 15 feet away, whatever it is.
Dude, I remember when you used to go in a bar and you get the nasty secondhand cigarette smoke, and
Yeah.
you'd have to like go home and shower. It'd be like all in your hair,
Yeah, you can't get that
like
out
all in your
for like a day.
clothes. And I don't know in Virginia, but like North Carolina, like it was legal to smoke in bars for a long time.
I mean, Virginia is a
Probably
big
like only 10,
smoking
15.
state. What is the tobacco industry is like practically based out of here. Philip
yeah.
Morris, Altria Group, they're down in Richmond. We can take the conversation back to what Jamestown and all that stuff too. If you want to back through history, but yeah, I mean Virginia is a big smoking state. Like we have very cheap cigarettes. So do you remember the Eric Gardner? I'm bringing the conversation back around to what's going on today. But if you remember the Eric Gardner case in New York, so the guy who the New York Police Department, they just choked, right, and so he died.
Yeah.
And so he was I mean, the reason they were going after him was he was selling loosies, and so that's just loose cigarettes, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
And I just think it's an outrageous law that, New York, what they do is they tax the cigarettes super, super high. So people just obviously buy them in states like Virginia. I'm guessing it's kind of just like this case with guns where you just go to Virginia, buy the guns. You do the same thing with cigarettes. And he's standing there selling them on the street. Obviously didn't deserve to die for that. I mean, I don't think that law should have even been on the books, but that's kind of what happened. So Virginia is a big state where I know a lot of friends who, when they come to visit, they'll just buy packs here to take back.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen the same people doing that, especially back in the day. Like way back in the day, I know it was like, wasn't that the Beverly Hills Cop movie about that?
Oh yeah,
they were busting a cigarette
he
scammer.
had a cigarette truck. Eddie Murphy. Oh, I love that movie so much. Yeah, he had a cigarette truck. When he was on the highway, when he was on the road, all the cigarettes are like flying out of the back of the truck. Great movie.
Absolutely. So every time I think about New York cigarettes being more expensive, I always think about that movie.
He was but that was I think he was in Detroit, right? He was a Detroit police officer.
Detroit,
Yeah. Kyle, this is where you put the Beverly Hills Cop theme song. If you can,
I may have to insert
in the background. That brings me back to the old days.
I love that music. Maybe we need to make that part of the Big Cat Lounge, the music.
The 3 inches of wonderful, and then this.
That's so funny.
Be careful of that copyright. You're gonna have Eddie Murphy coming down to your door.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to buy it or whatever if we want to do it. I wonder, how many notes of the song you can have without having to pay.
Yeah, because I think you can sample it for a little bit at least, right? If it's so I mean, copyright law is interesting. If I didn't go into business, I probably would have gone to law because I just love reading about a lot of these cases.
Yeah, law is pretty cool, man. I've recently enjoyed watching the law stuff.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I didn't like Suits too much, but I do like reading about real cases, especially constitutional issues, either First Amendment, Second Amendment, whatever, that type of stuff. But copyright, I think you can. So you can, if you have a parody or you have some sort of, it's kind of under fair use, right? If you're sampling it and you're not really making money off of it, but then you're using it in you're commenting on something somebody else made, some sort of content, then you can do that. But I think if you're monetizing it, then you might have a little bit of trouble. Yeah,
you have to go buy it because when we do it for clients, you have to go buy these. You have to go buy the music. You can buy. Yeah. There's a platform you can go buy it on. I don't know what it is. I don't do it, but it's pretty interesting.
I forgot to ask, are you guys both in Charlotte right now?
I'm in Raleigh. Kyle's in Charlotte.
Oh, okay. Kyle, is Casey sitting right there next to you, listening?
No, I'm in the closet.
You're in the closet?
What?
Yeah, man. I'm in the closet.
I think you need to rephrase that.
Yeah, I know. Kyle, are you coming out of the closet?
Yeah.
No, I'm just stuck next to the laundry machine.
Okay. Wait, you need to get. I thought you had this huge studio and stuff. No,
this
not
is
yet.
The studio, man. We got the walls and everything, the insulation. You can't hear the sirens outside.
Okay. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I guess Kyle gets banished to the laundry room for for his Big Cat for the Big Cat Lounge podcast. The Big Cat Lounge in Charlotte is Kyle's laundry room.
Yeah,
Hey,
Big
that's what
Cat
we
Lounge, broadcasting straight from Kyle's closet.
But we do have the Big Cat Lounge where our work in downtown Raleigh. Kyle's going to come. We're going to do some episodes live from the Big Cat Lounge in the Warehouse District in downtown Raleigh. I'm live here from the Creamery today.
What is this Big Cat Lounge in Raleigh?
So back going to the Big Cat podcast lounge, how the Big Cat even came around was one of our friends would always call everybody Big Cat, so we started picking on him about it, and then started picking on each other about it, and before you knew it, everybody was calling everybody a Big Cat, and then my friend looks it up and says, "Hey man, did y'all know that if you're a big cat, you roar, and there's only 4 big cats that actually roar, and that's what makes you a big cat?" And then from there, it spiraled. So then, I started calling everybody at work a big cat, and then I come in one day and they'd made the back lounge. They put some jungle theme up and called it the stenciled in Big Cat Lounge on the wall. It's hilarious.
Wow. Okay. And this is in Raleigh. You have this. You still have the stuff up on the wall.
Yeah. That's why I was saying that we're gonna, when Kyle comes to Raleigh, we'll go ahead and broadcast live from the Big Cat Lounge.
Okay.
And then we also
do you have a closet there too?
No, it's an actual Big Cat Lounge, a legit Big Cat Lounge.
I'm just saying, I don't know if Kyle will be comfortable if he's not broadcasting outside of the closet right there. You might
Yeah, no. I'd have to come
Don't have
out.
that insulation like I do here with the clothes. And
Oh, okay. You're next to the laundry machines. It'll be nice and warm right there.
Yep.
And we also have a esports league, an e-gaming team.
What kind of game? Like e-gaming? What do you mean?
Yeah, they do Fortnite and FIFA, and I'm not a huge gamer, but they do a bunch of other things. It's called 1K Lions, 1K Lions. You can find it on the internet.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Gotta throw this on.
So you say you give MAGA swag to people for their wedding?
I just thought it would be hilarious because I saw this hat on Amazon. So a little bit of background. So for Kyle and Casey's wedding, they did their wedding registry on Amazon, and I figured out that when somebody does their wedding registry on Amazon, you don't necessarily have to buy things off of the registry because although their address is hidden, when you add one thing from the registry into your cart, you can add absolutely anything and it'll just ship it to their house. So what I ended up doing is I bought a few things off of the registry that they wanted, and then I went to town and bought a few things that I wanted to buy them. So one of the things I thought would be kind of funny was this pink, it was sparkly pink hat that said Trump girl or I'm a Trump girl on it. I forgot exactly.
That's why he sent me that picture today.
Okay, yeah, you got to put that picture up now, Kyle, on the podcast. So you
nice.
So I added that. I think I might have added.
I'm a Trump girl. That really gets them boiling when they see that one, I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah. So I thought that would be a funny thing to add in, and I think I probably gave him maybe a vuvuzela or two, if you remember.
Yeah.
Okay, good. South African World Cup, maybe, I don't remember, 2008, 2012, something like that. They had, you remember the horns that they were blowing in the World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
So I figured Casey would either love it or hate it. And so I sent Kyle maybe a 6-pack or a 3-pack of those. I don't remember. Just in case he broke a couple or she broke a couple.
Just in case.
Just in case she broke a few. Yeah, I've had some friends that have broken a few of them when they got tired of it.
Just in case you needed that third one.
Yeah, you need some backups. I remember one of my friend's girlfriends just hid mine. She put it inside of a flower pot. So you always need some backups with you.
Hid it. That's a good one. I've hidden stuff from people when they were making annoying sounds.
Yeah. So that was one of the
sounds annoying, but when I have some annoying sounds, I definitely can do that.
It's actually surprisingly difficult to figure out. If you have never blown a vuvuzela, it takes a little bit of time to get the knack for it.
Okay, it's a talent.
It's a talent, yeah. I think
I learned art.
Yeah, you can't play saxophone on the first day. You kind of got to purse your lips a little bit. I think Kyle figured it out.
You got to watch like an hour of YouTube videos.
No, you have to. Nah, it's quicker than that. But yeah, no, I think those are two of the things I bought them. I don't remember what the heck I even bought off of the registry at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Remember the novelty gifts you gave him?
I only remember the novelty gifts. Yeah, exactly.
You don't remember the blend? You don't remember the blender or the bread maker he actually
Yeah, I have no idea what he wanted.
You don't remember the things he actually asked for?
No, I have no clue what he wanted. The only thing is you actually have, like I said, you have to add something from the regular registry so that it like ships it to their address, so it's part of their like registry, because then it kind of like
so if you don't have a registry item, it won't reveal their address.
Yeah, well, it never reveals their address, but if it'll just send your extra shit along with you know, whatever they wanted. It'll send it along with it, kind of as part of the same order. Yeah, I think another thing I remember, I might have sent him some nipple stickers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So,
All right.
do you remember what gift he sent you? I know you got so many on. Sorry, I'm gonna call you out here. Sorry.
I really don't. I don't. I just so happened to find the Trump girl hat today.
Okay.
Well, y'all are even, so he don't know what he sent you, and you don't know what you got him. I think I need to start asking married people if they remember these gifts.
If they remember the gifts, I think I got a thank you letter. I'll toot my own horn, or toot my own vuvuzela, I guess, right now, and say I did buy a decent amount of stuff off the list, because I always, like, if I'm gonna send novelty shit like that, I don't want to like piss them off, because, you know, they paid so much for the wedding. So I definitely added like a decent amount of stuff from the registry. Yeah. And then I just added a bunch of fun shit that I wanted to, you know.
You got him some luxury shit, and then you got him some bullshit.
Exactly. Like, it's not like I was gonna add more into the luxury category. It's like I bought everything that I wanted to get them off of the luxury category, and then I was like, okay, these are some fun stuff that I just wanted to, you know, they'll be surprised by me adding it in. I think Casey, I remember, was like receiving them at work, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
Hey, let's talk about your investment. Well, hold on, Kyle. Why don't you do a quick call out, and then I want to talk to him about his investment.
Are you guys like tying into the intro? So we went through the MAGA thing hat. We went through I think a few other things. We're going through.
Well, anything you want to talk about, or do you have expertise at something you'd like to share with the Big Cat Lounge?
I could do a little bit of tech support. I was helping my mom fix her computer earlier. You do like a little call-in. You do a little call-in section where you have viewers call in. All right, asking Gautham, I got this Mac error that came up.
We're thinking about having somebody call up and doing calls with scammers where they fuck with scammers, telemarketers, trying to scam people. Those are so funny. Videos, man. Yeah, so I'm trying. So hopefully soon we're gonna have somebody calling up doing that. We wanted to have somebody call up pretending to be Corn Pop. We're gonna have him call up every week. He was claiming he was the real Corn Pop, but we found out the real Corn Pop dead. I think so. I guess, but that'd be a pretty funny skit if every week somebody was calling up saying that they were the real Corn Pop.
Did you say the real Corn Pop is dead?
Supposedly, that's what my boy that wanted to do the skit said, "Damn, man, Corn Pop's dead. I don't think we can do the bit."
Oh, geez. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, I love
funny bit. I think we should still touch it.
I think, is it too soon now? I don't know, Chad. Is it too soon?
I don't know, man. That was just a funny one with the hairy legs, and I like kids sitting. When he said he likes kids sitting on his lap, and come on, man. Yeah, Stephen King or Steven Spielberg couldn't write that.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I don't even know how he came up with that. If it's real.
He was a bad dude. Corn Pop was I don't think Kyle's seen it yet. I got to send it to him. Kyle, have you seen it yet?
I don't think so, but I'm not. I mean, you can send it. If I watch it, I watch it. I'm not trying to like search out to watch some.
Gautham, have you seen it?
Oh, 100%. I love.
Man.
I just go to YouTube and type in "Sleepy Joe Biden compilation" or "Creepy Joe Biden compilation." Comes up. I mean, I do the same thing.
I love the one where it shows him sniffing hair and massage shoulders. Have you seen them?
Yo, I've seen every single one of those. For somebody that doesn't
go back and watch Trump and Hillary, man. I still go back and watch those. I can't wait for Trump and Biden. I just don't think it's going to be Biden is going to be the guy that actually gets up there. But anyway, what were you saying? Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just saying, I've seen. I mean, I watch all the Trump videos too because it's just like hilarious. The shit that he says, the shit that Biden says, it just cracks. I'm in it for the entertainment. For somebody
Me
that like
too.
does,
Me too, dude. How about, dude? I still go watch the last Republican National Convention where he just eviscerates everybody. How did he get center stage?
That was actually. Do you remember when he had center stage and then I think he was like just slamming on Jeb Bush and then he was like, I'm at 40, you're at 2. Next time you'll be off the side of the stage. I'm in the center right now. You're all the way over there. The next time they'll have you off. You won't even be on the stage.
I saw this adult. Have you seen those adult coloring books before?
You mean adult coloring books?
Yeah, just in general.
I don't think so. Oh, like the color by numbers you're talking about.
Well, no, it's just a coloring book, but it's got like political stuff or like adult, not adult sex stuff, but it's like adult coloring books they call them. But what it was an adult coloring book of Donald Trump, and like I bet it had like 50 pages in there. Like each coloring that you could color was its own page, and it was like someone he had insulted along the campaign trail and what the insult was. Oh my gosh, that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
You know what? I think he's selling it on his website. I do remember this now. I think they're selling it.
He's the master merchandiser and entertainer and social media influencer. Actually, he is the master troll. He's he might go down as the greatest internet troll in history.
Yeah, he could.
Oh, absolutely. Do you remember when the hurricane was coming by and I think he used a marker to kind of like draw the path himself?
Oh yeah, I remember that. They flipped out.
Like, honestly, he's like, I think he has to be playing like 4D chess right now because he did that and he knew the media was going to basically call him out. I mean, it was completely crazy. He just like drew where the hurricane was going to go himself and he knew the media would pick it up and then play it like nonstop. And within a few hours, they were selling the marker on his campaign website. Like, here's the marker he used. Like, they must have sold out.
Dude, he has sold. I don't think any president's ever moved merchandise like this, buddy.
No, yeah. I mean,
you never seen so many campaign hats in your life.
Yeah, their campaign is raising so much cash. I mean, not just the campaign, but because of him, the RNC is just making making money hand over fist or whatever.
I think they said they made $1 million they brought in like some unseemly amount just the other day. I think after the CHOP stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading at least that, you know, when Bernie was running, so it was like comparing Trump's campaign and Bernie's campaign. And I think like majority of Bernie's campaign obviously is like small dollar amounts, like less than $200. I think he was at like 85% or 89%. And Trump's was about the same too, like where he was raising most of the money
they kept saying
smaller donations.
Well, they kept saying Trump's not going to win. Trump's not going to win. And I kept like seeing the crowds and I'm like, you ain't never seen no crowd.
Yeah,
like this at a rally.
Joe Biden goes to like a deli or a diner. That's where he has a rally, and it's like 6 people show up. Bernie has a big rally. Trump has a humongous rally. It's just, I don't know what's gonna happen.
And Biden does like 15, 20 minutes, and then Trump's doing like somehow 5 campaign stops a day back in 2016. Like, I loved one night he was late in Iowa, and he goes, because I'm like you, I watch this for the entertainment. I actually started following him when he insulted the Pope. He had like clapped back at the Pope or something. I was like, dude, that's when I signed up for Twitter.
Yeah.
Man, I got to follow this, man. Ever since, I think like I saw a stat like about a year ago that said he had already tweeted out like 13,000 tweets.
Wow. Okay.
Or something. I don't know. I'd love to know what the number is today, but I bet he's over 20,000 tweets.
He's got to be. I was looking, surprisingly, he's not the person with the highest follower count. I think Obama is number 1. I think Ellen might be number 2, and Trump is, I think, number 3 or 4.
Nice.
Believe it or not. Yeah, I mean, I'm in it for the entertainment, just like you. People think that I'm like severe, like heavily invested in politics, and I'm following politics like crazy, but I'm kind of not. I just like to kind of play devil's advocate.
Well, it's honestly funny watching people lose their minds over this. I love watching both sides lose their minds. It's hilarious.
Exactly. It's just my friends, majority of my friends tend to kind of lean kind of more on the left side. And so I kind of have to play devil's advocate for the right and, you know, try to maybe, I wouldn't say troll, but maybe engage them a little bit. And it just, so I mean, obviously, if I had some more right-leaning friends, I'd have to take some more liberal positions just to kind of with them and see what they say. It turns out to be entertaining for me. At the end of the day, I'm just going to make popcorn. It doesn't really matter to me.
Well, he's really the first tough guy with a sense of humor. It's almost like I tell people sometimes America might have needed a business jerk to like a business jerk to get us going, man. Because hey, some CEOs ain't everybody's friend, man. They got to hire and fire people.
Got to be an asshole. But I mean, I don't know if I'd call him business. He's had what 3-5 bankruptcies. That's more bankruptcies than I've had. So I don't know.
That's American as apple pie, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that part of being American, being the right to declare bankruptcy?
Exactly. Except for student loans, believe it or not. You can't declare bankruptcy for that. Specifically, I think they excluded student loans from being eligible for bankruptcy.
Oh, so what I was going to say, one of the funniest things Trump's campaign, because, I was just fascinated. Whether you like him or hate him, it was fascinating either way, But, like, one night he did, like, 5 rallies or something, and he was, like, late in Iowa or somewhere, and it was, like, midnight. He was supposed to be there, like, 9 or 10, and he got there and he was like, I've been to 5 campaign stops. He's like, they told me, sir, you can't make it to Iowa. He's like, I wouldn't dare not show up for those people.
That's
so he goes, yeah, I've been in 5, blah, blah, blah. He goes, and Hillary, she's sleeping beautifully. He's like, she's sleeping beautifully right now.
I don't know how he does it, but it's always, even during the debates, if you remember, he'll like kind of do a little compliment with an insult at the end, or somehow to prop him back himself.
Oh yeah, they call that a shit sandwich. You give a compliment and then you drop the hammer and then you give another compliment. They call that the shit sandwich.
And then sometimes he'll kind of like do a 2-for-1, It'll be like, so if you remember during the debates, he'll be like, you're a bigger liar than Jeb Bush. Like he was talking to Ted Cruz at the time. You're the single biggest liar on there. You're a bigger liar than
double insult in one phrase, like insulting 2 people for one.
Yeah, he just knocked out both of them.
Another one is when Hillary said in debates, I would not want anyone with your temperament to be in the laws of this great land. And he goes, because lock you up.
Yeah,
dude, I think that one right there won him the election.
Yeah, at that point I was like, okay, he's getting this.
But the media kept saying, no, he's way behind. I'm like, man, I ain't never seen people lining up. They didn't even line up for rallies like this for Obama.
No, he did something new with that. I mean, Obama definitely had a lot of showing, but he kind of changed it.
Both of our last presidential winners were like outsider, like underdog. They were both outside underdogs, like leading some type of a revolution. Because Obama had the hope and change.
Yeah.
Trump saving it. Giving the little work, or not little, but giving the working man and woman, in the middle of the country a say again, or at least let them feel like they do.
Technical difficulties, no worries.
Well, we're on that free trial, so like after it ends, it has to convert to output, and then after it's done outputting, then it makes you log back in, and I'm lucky it even works because it's free trial.
I thought Zoom waived that for COVID, like this whole time they waived the time limits.
First 40 minutes, and then after they want you to upgrade to an annual plan.
Yeah, but hold on. Maybe if you're a legitimate company, they're probably doing that, but not for the old Big Cat Lounge.
That makes sense. Yeah, I'm logged in on my personal account, so I don't have any of the corporate perks yet. I have a corporate account, but I'm not logging in on that.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, food for thought. Did you know all the Zoom conference servers are sitting in China supposedly?
Yeah, they had, it was a big uproar about that, wasn't there? Because they were, I think, I just read an article. They were censoring some dissidents. I think it was Hong Kong activists that were based. So I think they were having a call between activists in Hong Kong and people here that supported the cause. And due to China's kind of, I guess, let's call it pressure, Zoom banned those accounts. And then they came back and said, oh, oops, okay, we're going to, change our policies and allow, free speech and stuff like that. Because I think it was against China's, obviously, laws to advocate.
So let me ask you this from earlier. Do you think the next president is going to survive for their 4-year? Do you think any other president will survive their 4-year term? after
survive.
what they've done to
What do you mean by
Trump.
survive?
Because, like, I don't think any other politician could have survived everything Trump survived. I just don't. Like,
I mean,
everything they've thrown at him, like, dude, I think all these other people would have folded or had to have
they would have.
folded.
I don't think they would have gotten nearly the type of pressure that he did in terms of the media. I mean, the media rooms changed completely. November 2016 when he got elected. Even before that, during the campaign, just the way they operated. I mean, if you're looking at it, a lot of, I mean, for decades they've been reducing editorial staff. I mean, I think maybe revenues have been falling. If you saw, there's this one day where I think Verizon owns either Huffington Post and a bunch of these like BuzzFeed-ish type newsrooms. There's this one day where they fired a ton of these journalists.
The minority party holds the House.
Yeah, I mean, newsrooms completely changed. The reporting standards and the pressure they're facing. I don't think any other president gave that kind of pushback to the media.
Never. You never had a president calling them fake news.
Fake news. Yeah, I mean that's. But if you
then you got QAnon all up in it.
Yeah, it's just I looked at it and it was just you look at the news, you look at the newsrooms, you've watched Don Lemon or some of these people on CNN and things like that, and it's like if you look at them from an objective viewpoint, you're just like, is that for real? Is this really the news? I don't think so. So I kind of
you have to be able to separate opinion from fact.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult. One thing I've always found, I mean, I don't really watch Fox News, but I've found that Fox does is they do actually have a decent separation. I mean, it's all opinion, but then their news anchors, at least, I mean, it's, I sometimes see it, they're reporting, okay, this is what happened. That's what I take out of it. Or if I watch CNN, it's like, okay, there was a plane crash. I don't really need to, the Malaysian airline plane crashed. I don't really need to know, how big is the plane, is Wolf
I don't know whose fault it was, or the Democrat or the Republican should have did this, and that's what made the plane crash.
Did the mechanic post something racist? The guy who created the plane. I don't really
social media page.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I don't need to see Wolf Blitzer do an impression of a plane. I got it. It makes sense. There was this really good clip you guys should watch. Jon Stewart, man, I totally miss that guy. He leans slightly left, but I still absolutely love him, right? I mean, he puts politics into stuff sometimes, but I just don't like his replacement Trevino at all. It's just everything is made political in his sense. But
everybody's so woke now. Everyone's going to be so woke on social media.
Late night has just lost the comedy bit, and I really like Jon Stewart went on to
funnier. Trump's rallies are funnier than the late night. I hate to say it, but Trump's rallies are funnier than the late night late night host, man.
Oh, absolutely. It's just so funny. They're not about comedy anymore. They're about activism. And it's like, if Jon Stewart went on with Chris Wallace, if you remember. Trump hates Chris Wallace now. He's on Fox. But Chris Wallace was, obviously antagonistic and asking a bunch of questions to Jon Stewart. And Jon was like, at the end of the day, my number one priority is comedy. After that, number two might be, politics and kind of getting a message across. And I completely respected him for that. It was, he had a really funny clip, specifically about the airlines, about the airlines part where he was just talking about, okay, just we'll strap a set of wings on the back of Wolf Blitzer, and we'll talk about the plane. Where is it? What does it look like? Okay. And CNN, he played the clip of CNN, and CNN's like, a plane is about some X hundreds of square feet or in space, and he's like, are you describing a plane for us? I think
He's like, and it comes out the pilot was a Republican. The pilot was actually a Republican.
Exactly, and he was like,
white supremacist. The pilot was a white supremacist.
Exactly, yeah. And he was like, Jon Stewart goes. I think most of the viewers of CNN know what a plane looks like. They can just look outside of the airport window and see a plane. Because I mean, if you think about it, that's where CNN's playing these days.
Well, Adam Carolla was on one of those shows yesterday talking about, he was like, you can't even do any like racist or sexist or any kind of bits anymore, hardly in comedy. He's like, man, now comedians can't even like be free. He was like, you don't want comedians being like, should I tell this joke or should I not? Or
yeah. There's a whole list of comedians like Jerry Seinfeld and I think Chris Rock and a few of them, they don't do college campuses anymore because of that.
Oh, they won't go near a college campus now.
Near it. Yeah, there was this Indian
Oh, he
guy.
was talking about that. He was talking about that actually. At Corolla.
There was this Indian comedian. I forgot his name, but he was invited. He was invited to Colombia. I think it was a UNICEF benefit, and he said that I think the Asian American group or whatever invited him, and he was left leaning too, and he's told a joke, and they actually booted him out. They took him off stage in the middle of his bit, and he went on to, I think, Joe Rogan's podcast and a few others, and he talked about it, about how like the culture has changed. And here's what they did. He made a lot of I guess he got a lot of exposure from that too, because people were like, this is ridiculous. Like, he got kicked off 20 minutes into it, like a 40-minute sketch or a set.
Jeez.
Yeah, they don't even go near college campuses anymore.
Oh no, dude, they won't. Hell, half the speakers won't even like. It's like this cancel culture that we've got now. It's just cancel everything.
I hope we don't get canceled for this podcast. I don't know.
We're done.
I hope
We're
we
done,
haven't
bro.
said anything offensive yet.
Anchor's kicking us off. No, like I said, I'm not like a huge supporter of anything one way or the other. I'm actually pretty independent down the middle.
Yeah, same.
I think most of the country's there.
Most of the country is. I think they're kind of against kind of the radical side of both sides. I think both of the sides of the spectrum. I hope Kyle just doesn't like edit this and then have me say I hate white people. Like, just put like 3 different.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what we do. Oh, you didn't know that's what we do on the big
That's
cat
what
lounge?
Right? You guys just like make me. It'll be sounding so disjointed, like and then it'll be a word from another sentence. Hate.
It may just have to be like that.
Kyle edits this and makes it does hate speech post on your behalf. He posts a bunch of hate speech and like edits your words so you sound like, ooh, fake videos are gonna be fun. I can't wait to see what fake videos are gonna.
Oh, that's already been out there, man. That's already been out there.
Yeah, the technology for that has gotten so good where you can just what's the name for it? Do you guys remember the name for it? Where you can transpose a person's picture, like face, onto another person's picture on like a video.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's a term for it, like the type of technology. It's just insane how you get it. Because I've seen so many of them of like Hillary Clinton, of Trump, right? You put somebody else where you have them say something completely different and you can make their mouths move.
Oh, yep.
Something.
I don't know what it's called.
Deepfakes. They're called deepfakes. I remember.
Oh, deepfakes. Yeah. Remember the one they did with Ducky?
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was pretty scary, huh?
Yeah. It's just like, what's going to happen to evidence in the future, right? It's like, okay, somebody shot somebody and you're able to transpose that on the security tape. That's a little scary to me.
Oh yeah. Just hot off the press from Yahoo Money. A survey came in and 3 in 4 Americans say their finances haven't improved under Trump. But then I quickly scroll all the way down, try and look at the comments, like a true troll. And number 1 comment says, sorry, Yahoo, the numbers don't lie. And those numbers are in my bank account and 401k.
Hey, though, look, coronavirus and the protests, that's quieted Trump's rallies down. That took all of his rally momentum away.
You're picking back up. If you guys remember the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, if you remember that, I think I read, even the New York Times and a few of them calculated it out, and I think it was between 70 and 80% of Americans actually got a tax cut, right? I mean, we can discuss how big that was, but the fact was that 70% to 80%, I think, of Americans actually received a tax break. But then they did a survey to see who thought that they got a tax break. And it was like 30% or 20%, because I think the disinformation campaign was so impactful. I don't know if it was the Democrats doing it or just
but the real tax cut was you got a job, because a lot of people were investing money in the country. That was the real tax cut, is people that didn't have jobs are participating in the economy now. At one point there was a 7 million surplus in jobs? I don't think that's
it was huge. Yeah, I mean the skills gap was just huge. I think Corolla talked about that.
Bro, for California governor, he's from California, y'all. Oh, he's pissed off. If he's from California.
Yeah, what I was saying is he talks about the skills gap, I think. between people in the job market versus, the jobs being offered. And I think he runs a foundation or so to bridge that. And he's worked with a lot of the presidents like Obama, and I think he works with every administration coming in to, offer grants and things like that for training and apprenticeship. He does a few videos about, college isn't the right path for everybody. I mean, obviously it is for some people due to, the rising costs and things like that. Trade school and, apprenticeships and things like that are dying out, but then that's like a really good path for people. So I definitely respect the guy.
Yeah, we definitely need to retrain America. But gentlemen, I got to wrap it up. I've had a great time getting to know you and talking with you. Look, I'd love to talk to you for another hour, honestly.
Yeah, we didn't even get through the finance part, I think, right? Too much.
That's okay. There's other opportunities to come back on the Big Cat Lounge podcast.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you
cool.
so much for listening. If the world wants to hear more about Gautham, where can they find you?
I try to stay low key, but
Me too, Gautham.
you can reach me through Kyle. I don't really use social media too much. I kind of deleted that probably a couple of years ago, probably before the election.
Yeah, dude, I only use LinkedIn. So
yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't really respond to unsolicited queries on there. So
apparently, it looked like somebody wrote an op-ed in like the New York Times or one of them papers for Mike Rowe to be governor.
Did they really? Okay, yeah.
That's what it looks like.
But yeah, if you want to reach me, I guess go through Kyle. I've made you my de facto agent. There's no pay in that, so sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you
Cool.
so much
for having me
to the
on,
Big
guys.
Cat Lounge. We are accepting applications if you think you have what it takes to be a big cat and be a guest on the show. Email us at bigcatlounge@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to the Big Cat Lounge podcast. Hope to see you soon.